I'm Thru, and today we're going to do Makeup 101 Smoky Eyes. Okay, I'm going to do it on myself, and basically it's not that hard. We hear about smoky eyes all the time, and I'm going to begin. Alright, I start out with Thru Priming Moisturizer. I take a sponge and I put the priming moisturizer all over my face. Whether you have dry skin or oily skin, you want to prime and moisturize your skin. It's going to help soothe and also help the makeup go on smoother and stay on without giving you any complication. Don't forget your neck when you're putting your moisturizer on. Now my skin has a tendency to be a little bit more on the oily side, especially in the summer. So I'm going to use a little bit of anti-shine. Okay, when applying anti-shine, you need very, very little. You could use your fingers, put a little bit of it on, just a tiny drop, and put it in the areas where you have more of the shine. And you see it makes the whole thing go away. And do the anti-shine after you put on your face cream. So you see, usually it's around the forehead and the nose area. Some people have really shiny lids, so use the anti-shine there. And by the way, there are two variations of anti-shine. There's an A version that's for lighter skin, and then there's also a B version, which is for darker skin. So if you're not sure if you're in the middle, I would choose the darker for this, because actually it'll give you a nice healthy tint, and you're better off having the anti-shine being too dark than too light. Alright, so I'm going to start out. I am the Light HD Dual Foundation. Obviously the way you test out your foundation is to take the lightest color, putting it down here by your jawline to make sure you are the right color. When this matches your neck, you know it's the right color for you. Okay? I'm going to do the full makeup actually today. I'm going to do the smoky eye and whole entire makeup look. Here we go. HD Dual Foundation. Taking the lightest color, putting it all over my eyelids, the lightest color. Taking the darkest color, HD Dual Foundation, putting it on my forehead. Taking a sponge that I've already made wet. If you didn't make it wet, take your little spray bottle and put water on your sponge. It will thin out your foundation, which, because you know that these HD foundations are actually foundations / concealers. Alright, I am blending it all in. I'm moving my hair, I'll just move it to the side right now. I'm doing my forehead and my eyes first. Okay, once you have all of your foundation in, take a dry sponge, your photo finish pressed powder, and put a thin layer of the pressed powder on your eyes, on your eyelids, and a little bit on your forehead. I start out with Black Pearl liquid eyeliner, and I draw a line on the top of my eye. Does not matter for this to be perfect, because you're going to be doing the whole area dark anyway. So just create your shape. Do your line, take it out a little bit on the outside corner. Do the same thing on the other side. Note that I'm holding my liquid liner parallel to my eye, not straight on as a pencil. Okay, so you want to make sure you hold it parallel. It'll make any liner you put on go on much more smooth. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just put the liner there so that you have a base to start out with. The next thing you do is you choose your palette. I'm going to be using the Diva. I'm going to be doing Smoky Eye. I'm going to take an angled liner brush, which you can use as your eyeliner or also for your brows, and the Diva palette. I'm going to go into the black and the blue right now. And I'm going to create the first layer of basically how I want the eye to be shaped when I'm going to do the smoky eye. So as I get to the very end, I'm just taking it up at the outside tips. And again, this does not need to be perfect. Just get the placement on where you want the shape and how far you want it to go out. So basically you want to just create the area where you want the shape to go and how far it's going to go out. And I'm basically going to put it around up here and around up here, just to give you, your own eyes a gauge. The next thing I'm going to do is take my Crease definer brush and back into my Diva palette. I'm going to take a little bit of the black, a little bit of the blue, a little bit of the green, and basically go all over my lid, okay, my eyelid. thing, black, blue, green. Doing it the same thing on the other side. Now if you're scared to put all these dark colors all at once, start out with maybe browns and just get the placement until you start getting comfortable with doing a smoky eye. Just the one thing, the one note that I'd like you to remember is try not to just use black alone or try to use gray. It just looks very dull. Try to use warm, beautiful colors that have a little bit of a shimmer. That's why I love adding the green, I love adding the blue, I love adding the wine. It just gives you something more to look at than just plain old black or plain old gray. And of course, the benefit of doing your eye makeup first is all of this stuff that's falling down, I'm going to take off very soon. And basically, if you notice, I'm just going to the area of my crease and then just working it up a little bit higher here. The same thing on the other side. So just do this by looking straight and seeing how far you want to take that dark color up. Okay, so I'm basically going to stop it right here. Make sure this looks even. This is also a great trick if your eyes are already uneven. It's a great trick to sort of hide that because you are recreating the shape. Okay, so here I stopped right there. If you feel it's gone anywhere like too harsh, you could always just take your finger and just at the very top, just sort of smooth a little bit of it out on your finger. Don't be afraid to use your tools like these on our own hands. Although, having said that, make sure you wipe off your finger, okay? So we're gonna do this. And remember, we're gonna be getting rid of all of this dark stuff that's falling on our face. So don't be afraid to take your finger and just smooth everything out. This is especially true if you're using, pigments or whatnot. The next step we do is we take our blender mixer brush, same Diva palette. I'm using the warmer tones and going right on top where the dark colors end and take this all the way. Basically what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the harsh edge. Okay, I'm going above that, you see that? So again, I'm doing this and I am getting rid of that harsh edge. Because that's how you create just beautiful smoky look. You can also do the same thing, take this and after you've blended the harsh edge out, you can actually put some of this over the entire lid. Just to give you additional pretty colors that are on your eye. Okay? And also it's creating more layers so that your makeup is going to stay. And the variety of colors that you wear will match, because you got all these colors now in your eyes. I'm going to take the black liquid liner and create one more time a deeper color, because it's all about creating dimension. Also, it's going to make this look very neat. Now you want to make this part a little bit neater, but again, you don't have to be super, super neat, because it's just for placement for your eyelash. Because you can't have diva eyes and not have great looking eyelash. So we're going to take, again, the liner brush, once again the colors, a little bit of the black, blue, and green if you want to, and just go over that to blend out the black liner just on the top edge. Okay, you need a little bit because you don't want to remove it, you just want to create the dimension. And also, you can take your all-over eyeshadow brush, you could take your photo finish pressed powder, and basically don't forget to just smooth out the top area, where you had the warmer tone. So it's a gradual going up of colors. Okay? And you can always go back and put a little bit more, but you don't have to. The next step you do is you're going to take I'm going to be using the 102 All Natural eyelashes. And as we know, I love to take always the black liner, the black pearl liner, and color in the actual top part that is, usually has the glue on it. And I've already pre-colored this one to save me some time, taking my tweezer and taking the outside area. If you have to measure and cut the lashes, do that. Measure and cut them from the outside. I'm going to take the lash, take the Eve Pro black eyelash glue, put a thin coating on the bottom of the lashes. Okay, patient with this. You don't want it to be too thick because it'll take forever for it to dry and you're going to have glue on your eyes. Excess glue on your eyes, all right? So just a thin strip. The reason I like using black eyelash glue is when it's wet, it's gray. As it's drying, and when it finally dries, it becomes black. So you don't have a shiny little ring. Kind of like do a little bend, and then you use 2 tweezers, and you place it as close to your lash line as possible in the center, and then put the inside of the eye and then the outside of the eye. Place it. Wait a second. It's the wrong eye. That will happen sometimes. And yes, there is a left side and a right side. Guess what? This is the right eye. This will happen. Take your glue, put a little bit more glue on. The reason you know that there's an inside and an outside is the inside part actually has a shorter, shorter hairs. And by the way, you can always trim these. You can always trim these hairs in case they're too long for you. So don't be afraid. Again, tweezer, tweezer. And sometimes we're in a rush, our kids are calling us. So no worries. Again, you place it, you position it, and then you put it down the center. Place down one side, then place down the other side. Remember, you want to get it as close to the lash line as possible, but you want it to stick to your skin and not your lashes. This might take a little practice. Don't give up. 2 tweezers are much easier to use than to use your fingers. And while the glue is still wet, you still have time to position and reposition it. Because you want to make sure it's as close to the lash line, that there's no line of demarcation, that there's not too much space between your lashes and your skin. So just gently keep positioning it so that it's just right. Putting on fake lashes is not the easiest thing to do, but it's certainly doable. And I prefer using a full strip over using the individuals because I actually feel that a full strip will look more natural, believe it or not. And you can be your own judge, but that's just a personal preference of mine. But you use whatever works for you. Either way, have patience, okay? While it's drying, just make sure to keep pushing it so that it's grabbing onto your skin and it's gluing and it's not like gluing and drying in the air, all right? And make sure that it's twisting up a little bit, okay? So there's one, and now I'm gonna do the other side. That was a good catch, right? We would've had the wrong lash on the wrong eye. All right, take your lash, take your glue, get a little bit of glue out, and just put it on the strip, strip. Just thin enough coat. Take your tweezer, hold one part with one tweezer, the outside part with another, and close to the lash line, place it, and then just start positioning it. Sometimes it might get a little crazy looking and start coming out. It's okay, just keep positioning it. Put it back. Pop out, put it back again. And remember, some lash strips are harder to maneuver than others. So you might have to test out several different brands until you find one. Obviously, I use the Eve Pro brand, but you use whatever you find and see if that works. But don't give up on the first one that you get, because the first one that you get might not be like the best one, and you think that everyone is like that, and they're not. So just keep trying until you find one that you're comfortable with. That's like giving up on the first person that you date and it doesn't work out. You can't give up thinking everybody's not right for you. Just gotta keep trying. Okay, so then you position. All right, it's getting there. You want to make sure you start twisting them up also while you're pressing it gently up against your eyelid as it's drying. I know I'm still in the crazy looking mode right now. So just keep pushing down. Now while this dries, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I'm going to take my spoolie brush and brush my eyebrows up, and then I'm going to take a clean liner brush. I'm going to take my Au Naturel eye palette, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to basically start from where my arch is and work my eyebrows out. 1, 2, 3, and start from the arch and gently start working it inside towards the eye and work the eyebrows. And towards the outside end of the eyebrows, I could use more of the darker color only because I have no hair here. As we get older, the hair stops growing in places we want it to grow and only grows in places we don't so much want it to grow. Okay, so it's 1, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Same thing here, while our lashes are drying. Okay, and then the outside, I'm going to use more of the dark, and then I'm going to fill in on the inside part of the brows. Okay, and we just fill it in, fill it in, fill it in. Okay, and don't be scared. Alrighty, so we fill that in. By this time, we hope that the lash has dried. And if you're not sure if your lash is dry and you want something else to do your inner liner. So I'm going to take my black pencil. This is the black coal, the blackout, and it's very creamy. And you want to be sure to use a cream pencil when you're doing, things like on the inside of your eye. Like if you're doing the inside of, the upper area, this is what you do. You would do this step before you do the lashes, although mine are already on. Then you pick it up and you do it inside. Don't be scared. Like that, and then you do the on the bottom, but on the inside. Okay. And don't worry about all the colors that have fallen down because we are going to clean all that up. Same thing on the side. I'm going to lift it up a little bit. Put this on the inside. And then pull this down. Okay, and we're going to do right here. On the bottom part. Doop, doop. And also take it out to the outside edge. And now you can actually work it down a little bit so that it's not only on the inside but also comes in by the lash. Where the lash starts growing. So it's a little bit thicker than just the inside part. And we're going to blend this out, so don't worry, it's not going to look so harsh. Alright, you also want to make sure that the line is connected from your lashes to the inner corner, so if it's not, be sure to with the pencil so that the whole thing connects. Okay, and during this time now, and do it in the inner, alright, and you want to make sure you've covered all the areas by your lashes. Good. Then we close it up. We're going to take our mascara. This is how you connect the fake lashes with the real lashes. We take our mascara, put it down, hold the back of this, and we basically weave them like this. We weave the fake lashes and the real lashes together. Alright, this is what's going to connect them, the fake and the real. You're going to have mascara on the back of your finger. Be sure to clean it off so that you don't get it on your other eye. So clean the back of your finger. Take more mascara. This is, by the way, the Glamour lash. We have a promotion sometimes with our mascaras. So the same thing you do on the other eye. You are going to work weaving them in together. So you weave it, weave it, weave it. I love doing the eye makeup first because any mistake you make, any accident, you can totally clean up. Like this, I got mascara on my face. I don't care because I'm going to get to clean it up prior to putting my foundation on. So you see my mascara is on my lashes and I can do one more coat now if I want. But I mainly was focusing on the upper lashes when applying the mascara. Just be sure you do all the little areas, including on the inside. So sometimes you might have like 1 or 2 unruly hairs. Use the tip of your mascara wand. Okay. If you want to do some bottom lashes at this point, you can, especially if you tend to be messy with your mascara and make you know, and kind of smudge it, I would suggest that you do the bottom lashes now so you get all that mess out of the way. Alright, so do your bottom lashes before your foundation. Okay, so your eyes are mostly done. Alright, we put all that on both sides. This way you can make it as thick, as clumpy, whatever you want to do, and not have to be so concerned about the mess you're creating. We're going to go back into our priming moisturizer. Our priming moisturizer, I actually put it on a little silver case, and I'm going to now take it with the sponge. I'm going to clean up all of this mess. By the way, these sponges are great because they are washable and reusable. So you see all the mess I cleaned up. And the same thing on this side, and I can get as high up by the eye to clean up any mess from any powders that fell from my mascara that I got on my face. Oh. I'd much rather be doing this now than trying to be doing this when I have foundation on. Although if I did have foundation and I made a mess, you can actually use the priming moisturizer and get rid of your excess foundation in this area or concealer, and then start again. Okay, so I basically cleaned up everything under my face. I'm going to go back to my foundation, right, the HD Dual Foundation and Light. I'm going to start with the darker colors, okay, the darker colors with my foundation brush, darker colors, and I'm going to do my cheek area, because y'all see my acne scarring, all the redness that I have here and here around my nose. This is why you put the darker color here by your cheek area, because this is what's going to cover up all of that. Now I'm applying a lot on because I want you to see that even if you apply a lot on, you can thin it out with your sponge, but you don't need a lot. Well, I do, because I have all these scars I want to get at least rid of. I don't have new acne coming out, but at least the old scarring I can certainly get rid of and make it look like it's flawless. And I also put the light, if you notice down here, give me the cheekbones, and down here, and also around my lip area. A little touch right up here, between the eyes, so to speak. I'm going to take my sponge that is wet, but it dried a little bit during this time, so I'm going to take my water bottle and I'm just going to make it a little bit more wet. Okay, if you made it too wet, take a little tissue and just dab that. And I'm just going to work my foundation going outwardly direction, going out, but gently. This is the part that now you're not trying to remove everything you've just put on, you're just trying to smooth everything out. Okay, and I didn't do my under eye yet, I'm just smoothing out the foundation. First the darker, and then the lighter. Now even though I had powder a little bit up here, it's okay to put the foundation. The Eve Pearl brand, we make everything so you can actually mix powder and cream together, and they'll be just fine. When you get to the end, whatever excess you have, just work it a little bit down, but you shouldn't need to put your foundation all over your neck for it to match. It should just match. Alright, so now I've blended. Now for those of you that might have more serious acne scarring or freckles that are raised, take your brush and your foundation again and just do one more thin layer, you know, over the areas that you might want a touch, a tiny bit of more coverage. Without going over it again with your sponge, just do it simply with the brush. Alright, this is the same thing is true if you have little blemishes that might have come out, just go over it with a brush. Now we're going to do the under eye concealer. So what you want to take is a concealer brush. Take your concealer brush. I am actually, some days I'm the medium concealer, some days I'm the light concealer. This is the light salmon concealer and treatment because I need under eye treatment. So today I'm going to use the light under eye treatment. Okay. Oh no, I don't know, as I'm putting it on, I'm like, I don't know if the light's going to be enough for me. I might need the medium. Well, this is what the light looks like. Okay, you could judge. This is the light under eye salmon concealer and treatment, and this is the medium salmon concealer and treatment. So now I'm going to take the medium here and put the medium on this side. Alright, as I blend it in with the same sponge that I have my foundation on, and I work it down. This is the medium still. I don't know. I'm looking in the mirror. What do y'all think? I don't know. I think I'm liking the medium better. I like the medium better. So even though I'm the light foundation, I prefer having the medium Salmon concealer treatment under my eye. So I'm going to take a little bit more of the medium and put it under this eye. Clearly I was tired. More tired than I thought. So there we go. And see, I'm patting it. I'm not rubbing it off, so just pat it. If you don't have a sponge, just use your finger to pat it. Remember, this is a treatment, an eye treatment. And you need very, very, very little bit of this. Alright, once this is on, I'm not going to powder my whole face actually. I'm going to take a blush. And I like using the medium blush trio. There's 3 colors here. There's a peachy tone, a pinky tone, which both are matte, and then there's a bronzer. And I'm going to take my fan brush. I'm going to go across all 3 colors, just like 2 swipes, and just put a little bit of blush here. Put a little bit of blush here. Alright, now, if you don't have a fan brush, you can also use an angled blush brush. Okay, and if you do that, then you go 1, 2, 3, and just get rid of some of it. The bigger the brush, the less product you need, because then you look like a clown. So you could do this with an angled blush brush also. Alright, and you see I'm kind of smiling to see where the apples are. I do that. Now, this is a tapered powder brush or a blush brush. You can also use this with your pressed powder here to basically smooth everything out. And this is what's I'm using as a powder all over my face. Or you could just use your fan brush as well to put up here to smooth everything out. Alright, so there's my blush. I like taking the fan brush and just kind of finishing it all off with the bronzer part here, and just smiling and putting it right on the apples and working it up just on the bronzer part of the blush trio. This is the medium blush trio, and just kind of smoothing it out. Alright, now I'm going to do my lips. I'm using the Cosmo liner. I'm putting the liner right here. The one time I'd be silent. Okay, you can also fill in your entire lip, or just do it sporadically. So you have a little bit everywhere. You can use the back of the brush. This is the Cosmo pencil. Just smooth that all in, because this is a pencil slash lipstick. And today I would like to put a little bit of, you know what? I'm going to use the Wet Kisses and the see-through Wet Kisses. I'm going to take a see-through. It's very nude. And you know, when your eyes are done up, you want your lips to be a little bit more muted. And if you want to just use a little bit of just gloss, you can do that, just to get you a little bit of that wet look with the Wet Kisses. And as I'm looking at my eyes, I want to now thin down and sort of like calm down the dark that I made the black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger puff, because now that I have foundation on my face, I don't want to be putting my fingers back on it. I'm going to take the finger puff and I'm going to take the mini smudger and the Au Naturel Eye Palette, the same one that I use the bottom colors for my eyebrows. I'm going to use the top colors because they all have a little bit of a shimmer. I'm going to take just the bronzer color, just the bronzer. Now you want to dust off any excess, okay? And I'm going to do that right underneath the black liner, because I want it to, you know, the whole purpose of a smoky eye is for it to be a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more dark, but not, you don't want it to look harsh. You still want everything to look sort of soft and sexy. Okay, again, the bronze color, and I'm doing it right under the black liner. So you see it's really making it a little bit calmer, a little bit sexier. And this would be the time that you'd be looking at your eyes to see, well, gosh, do I want to take it out a little further? Do I want to make it a little bit more dramatic? dramatic, this would be the time. So you look in the mirror, and this might be the time that I would still take the same, either the mini smudger, or I would take the crease, the finer crease, and put it in the darker colors again. Get rid of the excess, and now you can just take it out a little bit further. I actually prefer using the mini smudger because it gives you more control over the placement. So I'm going to do it with that on the outside, and I'm going to take it out a little bit further, and I'm going to connect it to the bottom liner. So sort of everything works together. See that? So that everything works together. It makes the one side now look a little bit longer than the other. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to take it out, make it a touch more dramatic. Connect the bottom and take it out. Be careful when you're putting any kind of eyeshadow when you have eyelashes, because the lighter the shadows, they might fall on your fake lashes. They're going to stay there. So you want to be careful not using like very, very light highlighting colors there. So I did the same thing on this side. And if you take it out too far and you feel like you made a mistake, take your concealer brush and you can just clean it up. You can just swoop up here and use that as a great little cleanup step, okay, with your sponge. So now you can make it very, very defined and clean looking. I just like my makeup to look clean. I don't like it messy looking. And also when I'm working, it's a big thing for clients who are going to be on television, they're doing photo shoots. You don't want it to be messy and thick. And don't think that, Photoshop can clean everything up. I gotta tell you, nobody wants to be sitting doing Photoshop, and when you're doing television, there is no Photoshop. When you're doing live appearances, no Photoshop, so you better make it look good. Anyway, this would be the smoky eye look, and I hope you like it. I'm Eve Pearl, and check out my website, evepearl.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Eve Pearl, and we love hearing your comments. And write in. Thank you so much. Bye.